What's up and good morning, and also welcome back, or welcome, if you ain't subscribed. You ain't ever seen me. This is Naptime Builder. And well, if you're paying attention here recently, I'm jumping off the 55 for just a short bit because bumps and dents on the mountain in Mentone, Alabama, just like almost like an hour away from the house. And I'm trying to get a truck running for it. Okay. I went last year, didn't have a truck. We rode in a minivan, okay? This year I'd love to drive an old bump side, which is what I'm working on. 072 long wheelbase F100. But she was stuck. Just found me a new motor. Just finished the last video actually. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I've been out here since 4:30. Just got done pulling a motor and transmission. My neighbors love me. I mean, you could only, right? How could you not? This is what we're looking at. She's a beaut. Like I said, just pulled her out. Just grabbed my tools and all the bolts and everything out of here. Because later on today, after we get some school or some homeschooling done, we'll be rolling this down the driveway just a little bit. And then trying to pressure wash all this in here. Hopefully I can find some degreaser to help me out just a little bit, because she's nasty. I mean, I made a mess, and I'm going to have to clean the concrete up too. And the kids would want to help with that, but they ain't tall enough to be reaching up in here and actually pressure washing. They pressure washed outside the truck. They helped. They helped with the Torino over there, all that. They can't reach all this. But hopefully we can get this pressure washed and degreased today and start looking at our 302, because it's been sitting under some it's been gone through. It's got new gaskets, stuff like that. Didn't have an intake or valve covers on it. Been sitting for a little while under some plastic. The plastic kind of deteriorated. Sun does the thin plastic. So I'm gonna have to take the vacuum cleaner, my small one, and get down in all the crevices, and then we'll run a bore scope around it, and just make sure we got everything cleaned up real good. Then we'll oil it down real good before we cycle it. But we did move it back and forth just a little bit to prove that it wasn't stuck. Basically what I'm saying, this one is a million times better than the piece of junk boat anchor that come out of it, because it was stuck. Pulled the heads off, and here she is. Pulled the heads off, intake, everything. I tapped on the dadgum pistons. I put a little heat on them. I soaked them in transmission fluid, which this thing been soaking for like a year anyways. Didn't help nothing. So it might be a lost cause, or it might be a throw it on the engine stand one day and finally figure it all out. But this is what we got now. She got a little bit of surface rust because she didn't have no valve covers or intake on it. We can clean all that up. See what I mean about some plastic and stuff down in there. It was worse, I had her in the back of the truck, so some of it blew out. But we'll go down in all of our crevices and vacuum out and use my bore scope and everything. Lube everything up before we rotate it too much. She got some little shorty headers. Even ended up with another pair of shorty headers. They're actually chrome or stainless, whatever. I can put them on the 55 when we get it going. So that's what we're working with. All right, y'all. Fed the heathens. Laid them down for a nap. Went ahead and got the pressure washer out. Semi cleaned up my spot there where it looked like somebody bled out. But I'm about to start pressure washing under his hood and the whole engine bay. And I know there is a way to take the whole front clip off. I might need to look into that. I got a couple buddies that do it, and they say it ain't much at all, and it's a lot easier to get to everything after the fact. So we might do that if I can look up right quick and see what I need to take out. I'm sure I'll need to start with this bumper, but you know, that bumper kind of needs to come off anyway because she's a little jacked up. I think there ended up being 12 bolts. I ended up having to cut one off. Let me go throw them with you. Right here, you can either take these 3 out, they have a nut on the other side, or you can take these 3 out. The guys I seen chose to take these out because they felt like this plate up in here was a little sketchy or something like that on the inside. So these right here, you got the nut on the other side, you know, you can kind of control that. Did that on both sides, that's 6. There's one right up under here, right there. Both sides. That's 8. Got one right inside the door here. This little hole right here. It's right there, pointed that way towards the fender. Both sides. So what is that? I'm losing count. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then up here, the front bushing mounts right there. That one. And then obviously on the other side. This right here, looks like it's took a little bit of a lick right there, don't it? It dips down just a hair. Well, that's more than a hair, but whatever, you know. But these are so crusty. The top of it's right in here. And that was packed full of crap, and you can see it's crusty and everything else. But I cleaned it out with the vacuum cleaner on the inside there and all that, but it was still terrible, and still ended up having to cut the one on the passenger side off. Ooh, where'd I put my stuff at? Right there. But still had to cut that one on the passenger side off. Is that gonna come off or not? Nope. And so that makes 12. Also, I had to cut the bolts to get the bumper off. So, and now, my wife always gets on to me. If I do anything, it seems a little sketchy. She would probably think me taking this front clip off by myself would be sketchy. But she probably would have also thought me taking that hood off by myself would be sketchy. So, to make sure I don't get my butt kicked, should I go ask her just how strong she's feeling today? See if she wants to grab a fender. Because I'll let her help if she thinks she can do it. Otherwise, I might rig up some ratchet straps and hook the engine hoist to it or something. Try to put all them in there, that way we know where they're at. All right, y'all, as you see, she came out and helped me. See, I didn't get in trouble for doing it myself and sketchy that time, so I'm gonna count that as a win. But she is off and out the way, sitting over here. I'm gonna take the pressure washer, hit what I can. And I don't know if I got any extra degreaser. I might have to go drain my dadgum parts washer and reuse that degreaser. All right, y'all, got a pressure wash, degreased it a couple times. It's still not perfect, but I'll probably hit some of it with a angle grinder and throw on a little black paint. And I also need to weld in a patch there, something to hold the battery. Right now she's looking a heck of a lot better than she was. Now I gotta roll this hose up and get ready super fast before my wife was my butt, because I got to go to soccer practice. I might just have to go nasty, there ain't no telling. We'll see. Good morning. It's the next day. You know, sun kinda, well, we're finally getting a little light around here. I've been out here with my work light looking like a crackhead, but I went ahead and took an SOS pad just to scuff up a little bit of the frame, a little bit here, and a little bit of the firewall, and shot a little black spray paint on it just to make it look a little bit better. And you know, just help her out just a little bit, you know, I mean. And I wanted to hit these brackets here that the front end slides up on and bolts to, you know, kind of get the rusty off of there. That way, hopefully she goes on smooth and comes off smooth. I only had about a can and a half of spray paint, so it could look a whole lot better. And also, there might be a spot or two that I didn't wipe the dew off of and ended up running a little bit. But, you know, after the pressure washing and the degreasing and the pressure washing, a little bit of spray paint, even if it does have a couple runs in it, she don't look too terrible. It'll be all right. Don't look at it if you don't like it, okay? So now that it's, hopefully anybody going to work is going to work, I'm about to crank up a little small vacuum cleaner and clean what I can out of this engine. I need to take this chain off here and put it aside to give it back to my uncle. But yeah, some of the plastic blew out on the way home, but there's still some sitting around in there and all that. That right there's a little tight. All right, just pulled these little shorty headers off. Uh-oh, I got this thing turned upside down. Just pulled these shorty headers off, and look there. Has some couple little dirt dauber nests up in there. So, break this stuff down a little bit. Get my vacuum cleaner ready. Look, there's dirt dauber nest in there too. Ain't that what it is? No, it's not. Oh, well, I thought it was. Sorry, I'm so here in North Alabama. I'm used to them dirt daubers, okay. But let's take a vacuum cleaner this thing and see how well we can get her cleaned up. All right, so now that we got it all vacuumed out, everything that we can get to as it sits, I'm gonna use my little borescope here and see what we can find. Hopefully nothing but good things, right? You know, pot of gold, or that she's just perfectly clean. Either one will work for me. All right, there's our little camera. I'll go in the, what the crap? Dirt dauber. All right. Yep. All right. Alrighty, don't like the way the first one looked. Dirt daubers. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull these heads off. All right, there's that one off. Look at. Pitiful. We'll vacuum these out then I probably will. Let me see here. It wasn't even tightened down all the way. Honestly, I'll probably just vacuum this out, go ahead and use that head gasket. It wasn't even tightened down all the way, so we should be fine. And then after I clean this, I'll clean off the bottom side of that head up there, stick it back on, go from there. And that one's back on, and of course this side is even worse. That is terrible. Vacuum this mess out. May hit it with a quick wire wheel just to make sure I get it halfway decent. And then he said at one time, or every now and then, he would spray a little bit of lube down in there. But it don't help a whole lot when you got dirt dauber's nest up in there. So obviously they had a little bit of moisture at times, making them look muddy. Y'all ain't gonna believe this crap. You ain't gonna believe it. Actually, you might if you ever watch the videos and pay attention how my luck usually goes. So, you know, did all that. Took heads off, cleaning that up. Just got done torquing the heads down to spec. Soaked it all in some WD-40 just to give it some lube because it ain't had none in a while. Cylinders, everything. Well, I was about to rotate it just a little bit, and then I was going to spray it again. Well, there ain't no crank bolt in there, okay? So, I was going to take the one out of this. She's stuck. It'll come out pretty good, right? And put it in there and use it. I just put a breaker bar on that, which I had to hold it still because it's just sitting on the pallet. And well, started turning it backwards, and see all this mess? That ain't from me flipping it over. That's from the daggum thing started rotating when I went in reverse. I guess that transmission fluid had worked its way down and all that. Either way, this is still a better motor because it's actually got new gaskets and stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, are you daggum serious? Why couldn't you just done that? And then we'd already had this mug halfway put back together. So I took the bolt out with the impact. Now I got to get that pulley off of her because the pulley, because this didn't come with one, and the pulley that came off the other engine in there is bigger than that. I need that pulley. And that's gonna be fun, trying to get that off. All right, it took me a few minutes, but I finally got her. The crank bolt's in. The two pulleys on the front there off of the original engine is in. I mean, the good news is at least that one's not stuck and we can reuse it at some time. So, so what now? I got this one, the one we're building. Obviously this one's going in the truck, but we'll have this one, the one we're building. And then there's a 302 block in that one. It's missing heads. There's the intake there. So, yeah, that's complete. That might as well be scrapped, I'd say. It's been sitting like that for many years. But I just cycled this over a little bit, sprayed it all again, cycled it over a little bit, sprayed it all again. Trying to get lube almost everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So, I want to wipe it down, throw an intake on it. Oh yeah, I ain't showed you, I got a new intake again. Kids just woke up. Let me see if my wife's cool with me taking a few more minutes to at least get this thing covered up. I'm gonna go ahead and put spark plugs in the holes. I'm gonna put the spark plugs in the holes, intake on, gaskets of course, and the valve covers on. That way this thing is at least closed up for the most part. So we'll see. Well, I got stuff all over my face. Stop touching your daggone face. I had an itch, okay? Sorry. All right, there's a new aluminum intake that I was going to put on the other one, but since we're doing this one first, we'll put it on here, and we'll just get another one for that one. Let me see, valve covers. I got some gasket anchor there. I gotta get the gaskets. I got stuff. I got parts everywhere. Everywhere. Over here. That you? That you? That's valve cover gaskets. Exhaust. What is this right here? Why is there 4 of them? Am I losing my mind? And donut gaskets too, my goodness. What's that? Check these out. Something like this. Oh, is it? Is it? Nope. I think it's like that right there, actually. I think it's not really what that's for. Because if so, that's pretty brilliant. Okay, that one's a little bit out of shape. Get off there. Get off there. Okay, okay. You do the same. Something like that. Something like that. She lines up pretty good. Come on down just a hair more. Just a hair more. Something like that right there. Look. Alright, y'all. I'm a one-man crew, you know, so sorry I didn't film all that, but just look at her. Just look at her. She looks old, but she got some new parts. There, we got her China wall. Then we threw her intake on. Got brand new intake bolts, because this one didn't have none. Stole the valve covers off of the engine we're building, because this is the ones I had degreased. That was the cleanest. Plus, that was just like the ones that come off of that engine. So, new gaskets, threw them on. Just got done throwing the little shorties back on after making sure that was cleaned out. Now, I'm gonna wipe off these spark plugs here and throw them in the cylinders. Mostly just to close up them holes. So, after that, you have to wait till nap time, which will just be a few seconds for you, but it'll be a few hours for me, so. We'll catch y'all later. Well, y'all, it's officially nap time. Old girl sitting over there, completely dry, just waiting. Just waiting. The engine, the old 302 just sitting here, just waiting. So we're gonna, there's a couple things on the 2-barrel carb over there that come off of the engine that I need to take off and move over to this one. And then also the C4, I'm about to take a wire wheel to it right quick to clean it. I'd already pressure washed and degreased it, but I'm about to take a wire wheel to it and run over it real quick, blow it off, wipe it off, whatever. And I think I'm gonna spritz a little paint on it, just make her look halfway decent. And so I'll move that stuff over to that intake while that paint's drying. And then while I'm doing all that, my air compressor can build up, because I like using my little air lift on my day. We're gonna see if we can set this baby in there. I got 2 or 3 things I gotta do. Oh yeah, something else I noticed. When I was out here this morning messing around, obviously engine mounts, right? Sorry I ran out of black paint. See up in there. But look at this. All 4 bolts are loose. What's up with that? This one's not. That one's good. That one's loose. Why? So apparently I gotta look into that too. You know. Why not add something else to the dadgum list? You know? Oh, also, parts come in. Got some Sparky plugs. They may or may not be right. And also, I ordered, there's some wires. And if she fits, a distributor. So we'll see how all this goes when it's time for it to go. So, but like I said, I got things I got to do before that. I got parts everywhere, junk everywhere. Here's old, look, she's a lot better than she was, okay? We're going to run my wire wheel over it a little bit, blow it off, spritz a little paint on it. Good as new. What's going on? Rooster's letting me know, okay? The rooster is letting me know. We just got done with some homeschooling. Kids wanted to play outside, so Daddy come to play with his toys too. Why not? Can't remember exactly what I showed y'all yesterday that I got to. I was having a hard time yesterday. I was a big old dummy. I tried meeting up the engine and transmission. I had a bloodbath over there. I filled up the torque converter before putting it on, and I kind of drained out some of the old fluid and filled it back up with some new fluid. Might have went a little too full, and when I put it on the transmission, of course I made a big old mess, whatever, and started meeting them up, and I grabbed the wrong bolts. I hired too big. Well, I hired too long. And, you know, I might have cracked one little spot, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. We got her met up, but as soon as I did, I had to go. So, little man had baseball practice yesterday. I didn't get out here this morning, okay? I'm usually out here like 4:30 on days I'm off. And, well, I wasn't today. Moving that transmission around yesterday, I was you know, I was feeling a little rough this morning, okay? So now that I got the engine and transmission mounted together, I need to draw some attention to that right there. All right, well, here she is, you know, in all of her glory. There's my dadgum thing. Oh, she's bolted in up front anyways. I got a little scissor jack thing under the transmission. And we're gonna have to figure out exactly what we gotta do. What we gotta do about a drive shaft. And, well, you know, I didn't put the factory manifolds back on. It's got shorty headers on it. Some people claim that those bolt up to the factory exhaust. If so, then these are not for an F100. Just go ahead and let you know. That was on the engine. I'm pretty sure they were actually for like a Mustang, an older Mustang. But, so I hacked up the exhaust to get it off. If we're being honest, it needed to happen anyways, because the muffler was only halfway there. The whole bottom of it was rotted off and all that, so it's okay. Don't come at me. It's okay. Maybe I need to lift the front end or lower the back end and lift the front end and leave it all headers. That way I sound like one of them idiot kids with the daggum squatters and clapped out exhaust. Maybe that's what needs to happen. We'll just do like an old school version. You know, I mean, old school vehicle version anyways. But, she's in, bolted to the mounts. Like I said, I got the rear of the transmission supported with the jack at the moment. I need to see if I can make my original transmission cross member work or not. Probably not, but we'll see. Also, be nice if we could rig up that mount over there too, but you know, we'll see. There's a lot of we'll sees. But it also looks like there's daggone been a bloodbath over here. So at some point I need to break the pressure washer out and wash the concrete off, because this is terrible. Look at this. I mean, it's just terrible. Oh, there's part of the exhaust. There's that muffler. The whole, look at there. If that was gonna do a whole lot, well, it's only held on by that one thing there. Got some shells up in there. And now we ain't talking about shotgun shells. All right, y'all, got the little microphone on. Hopefully it helps. Daddy's over there bush hogging what's left of the garden. And that tractor need a muffler on it. So, you know, hopefully, microphone helps drown that out. If not, then y'all just see me move my mouth and ain't nothing coming out, basically, right? So, all right. So, a lot of today has been worked. Some sorry son of a gun apparently hacked my account. Luckily, I found it after one fraudulent charge. It was like $45 to Uber Eats. Don't get me wrong, your boy likes to eat, but I ain't never ordered Uber Eats, so. And y'all, look at here. See this right here? You think Uber Eats bringing food out? No. We 30 minutes from town. They ain't bringing no food out here, okay? I can't even get a pizza delivery. You think Uber Eats is coming out here? Ain't no dadgum way. But your boy never ordered it, so I had to fraudulent charge it, or you know, turn it in. I went for a couple days without a card. And you know, I'll be needing some parts. I had to go get a new card, and drive directly from the bank. I had to go and spend a whole bunch of money at daggum O'Reilly's. So now I gotta wait a couple days for some parts to come in. Alternator was there, water pump was not. I got one radiator hose, the other one I did not. I got a thermostat that was in, and one little fitting. Hopefully we can make work. If not, I will have to clean up and unstop up the old fitting and see if we can, it was a heater hose fitting. But I'm gonna hang this alternator on here. And look at that fitting. And I got a starter in there. I'm gonna see if I can hang on here. Also, it's still got the 3 on the tree steering column in there. I'm gonna cut them daggum the ears off of that, or at least get them rods off of there. And a little bracket that was controlling that crap. Also, oh yeah, I ordered a new brake master cylinder booster thing. I need to take that off because that'll be a core charge when that comes in here in a couple days. So we'll go ahead and take that off. That way I have it off and out the way. I'm trying to do any and everything I can while waiting on parts. All right, just ordered a floor shifter for C4. Hopefully it works, and hopefully it gets here soon enough. But you know, we'll see, I guess. I'm not making no guarantees we'll make it to the show, but dang it, you can't say that I ain't trying. So I'm gonna grab that starter, see if I can throw it on, throw the thermostat in, see if we can hang the alternator, start taking that brake booster and all that mess off. And just see what we can get done. Like I said, I got less time today because I had to do some running around, but you know, it just happens like that. All right, y'all, so what's going on right here is I was trying to put the starter on, and I had one starter bolt that was right, No idea where the other right one was. So I found another bolt that would fit. It was around the same size. So I go to put the starter on, and it's just not beating up for me. The spacer plate between the engine and transmission is offset just a hair, enough that it's covering up the edge of my holes, so my bolts are not fitting or going in just correctly anyways. So that's what I'm messing with. I'm getting frustrated, all this. This is like a 32-minute clip, and I got nowhere. I'm going to have to use a my bad. At this point, I was thinking that I did not have my motor and transmission mounted up together correctly. Well, turns out I was right. And I thought, I don't know, I think I was a little overstressed and overstimulated or something, I don't know. But I was thinking that somehow I put the dadgum plate on after my flex plate, which is pretty much impossible. But I'm a big old dummy, and that's what I was thinking. But really, it just wasn't met up all the way correctly, like it needed just a little bit more. But that's what I was doing right here. We're gonna end this video right here. I really appreciate y'all watching and shoot me a comment. Nobody ever comments. Heck, come talk to me. But next video we'll be making a lot more progress, trying to make this thing run and drive to bumps and dents on the mountain, Mentone, Alabama, October 18th. I'm thrashing right now, so I'm a little stressed out. So I guess we'll see if we make it. See y'all.